So, put the phone down for a while. You need more meaning in your life. So do I. So does almost everyone I know. You need to be bored. That's not a throwaway line. It might be one of the most important things I can tell you. If you never let yourself be bored, you'll have less meaning in your life and you'll be more depressed. The mechanism is actually pretty simple. When your mind isn't occupied, when there's nothing pulling your attention, your brain switches over to something called the default mode network. Don't let the name intimidate you. It's just the set of brain structures that light up when you're not focused on a task. You're standing at a crosswalk, you forgot your phone, the light hasn't changed yet, that's when it kicks in. And we hate it. There's a well-known experiment where researchers had people sit alone in a room for 15 minutes with nothing to do, except a button in front of them that delivered a mild electric shock if pressed. No phone, no book, nothing. Just their own thoughts. A majority of participants shocked themselves rather than sit with their own minds for a quarter of an hour. Why is boredom so intolerable? Because the default mode network doesn't just idle. It wanders toward the uncomfortable questions. What does my life actually mean? Am I living it well? Those are hard questions, and your brain avoids them the way you'd avoid a sore tooth. Here's the deeper problem. We've built a device that lets us avoid that discomfort completely. It's in your pocket right now. The instant you feel the first flicker of boredom, you reach for it. And every time you do, you rob yourself of the moment where meaning might have surfaced. That's a doom loop. The less you sit with the big questions, the less equipped you become to answer them, and the emptier life starts to feel. I don't think it's a coincidence that rates of anxiety, depression, and a kind of background hollowness have climbed right alongside the device in your pocket. So, be bored more, on purpose. Here's how to start. Tomorrow, work out without your phone. No podcast, no music, nothing in your ears. Just you and your thoughts for 30 minutes. You'll be amazed what surfaces. People consistently report their best ideas come during unplugged exercise, precisely because nothing else is competing for the space. Try your commute the same way. No radio, no calls, no scrolling. Start with 15 minutes of genuine boredom and build from there. You'll notice two things happen. First, ordinary parts of your life get more interesting. Your job, your relationships, the world around you, because you've regained the capacity for attention instead of stimulation. Second, and more important, you'll start actually thinking about purpose, coherence, the shape of your life. And that's where real satisfaction tends to live. People ask if I follow my own advice. I do, imperfectly, like anyone. A few things that help. No devices after 7 p.m., phones out of the bedroom, no screens at the dinner table because we're there for each other, not for people who aren't in the room. And periodically, longer stretches, a day, a weekend, with no social media at all. I won't pretend the first hour of that is pleasant. It genuinely feels like withdrawal, because in a real sense it is. That restlessness is the dopamine system complaining. But it passes, and what's on the other side is worth it. The fear people have is always the same. What if I miss something important? Here's the honest answer. You probably won't. And if you're worried about true emergencies, leave the phone on and tell the 2 or 3 people who might actually need you urgently that they can still reach you. Everything else can wait. What's trending on social media is not an emergency. The news will still be there in an hour. Your grandparents didn't know what was happening in the capital every second of every day, and they were fine.